So, the tool that I'm talking about, 6 thinking hats. We have Dr. Edward de Bono to thank for this, and he is a world-known expert in creative thinking. The 6 thinking hats is one such technique to be able to bring people together to think creatively and to think of everything from all the different angles. So the main idea is to have the group wear one hat at a time. So when considering a problem or a project, wearing of the hat, he says, is metaphorical. But if you want to be literal, we can do that too, because I'm going to show you that here in a second. At any one time, everyone will wear the same color. So as you go through an exercise, so pick an initiative. So say you want to have an event and it's something new to your group. We really want to work through this event. So let's use this event as our key initiative or transformation strategy or whatever verbiage you want to give it, strategic objective. That one event, we're going to work it out with each hat. At any one time, remember, everybody's going to wear the same color hat all at the same time. Look at the problem from that one perspective at a time. Okay? Let's start. So we've picked our initiative. We're going to talk about an event. So the first hat, it's a yellow hat. Take a wild guess as to what this one's all about. This one is everything positive. All of the sunny, positive things that could possibly go right with it. Everything, all of the good points. What are the benefits of this? Why will it work? Right? Give me all the reasons why this is going to work. Why is this worth doing? How will it help us? Ask all of the really good, positive questions. Why can it be done? Why should we do it? Really hone in on optimism and sunshine. Yellow hat. We want to do the logical, positive view of things. You don't want to, get too sci-fi with it unless you're working on a sci-fi project. But you're looking at it from an opportunity point of view, right? What positive thing, what is the benefit of us doing it? That's the yellow hat. The next color is total opposite. That would be the black hat. Boy, this hat's a little crooked. The black hat. So, when you put the black hat on, you envision the bad guy, right? Typically, in the old westerns, the bad guys wore black hats. Is that right? All right, so with the black hat, boy, this is a bad black hat. Is it true? Is it really going to work? This is what we want to find out. What are the weaknesses of this? What's wrong with this? And I can tell you right now, this particular hat is a little cockeyed. That's what's wrong with this hat. This is your cautionary stuff. This is where you put some judgment into it. This is where you play the devil's advocate, right? You go to the extreme negative side. What are the evidences, the consequences of doing this? So we're no longer talking about benefits. We're talking about what's the consequence, what's going to happen to other pieces of the puzzle if we do this thing, all right? So what happens? What are the consequences if this works? Is it negatively going to affect some other area? So we need to look at that from the black hat perspective. The next hat is our red hat. Our red hat. This is the best red hat I could find on short notice. Like, it's still tabbed and everything. It's so funny. So we'll do it this way. Anyway, the red hat. The red hat is all about feelings. How do I feel about this right now? Am I on fire for this or no? Right? How cold or warm do you feel about it? Like, give yourself a temperature gauge, if you will. That's what the red hat is for. That is, how am I reacting to it? What are your intuition? What's your gut telling you? What are your feelings telling you? Energetically, which direction does this feel like it needs to go? Is there any hunches? And you don't have to justify this. There's no justification to feelings. You just let it flow. Now, we move on to the white hat. Now, the white hat, this is awesome, right? The white hat is real simple. White hat is information. What do we know about this? What facts do we have that will help us make this decision? What information do we want to have that we don't currently have? What else is relevant to us making this decision? What are we missing? What pieces of information are we missing? What's the most important? How valid is this? So we want to examine facts and figures and all the information. This is the data. White hat equals data and information. So just remember that. You'd be good to go. So then we get into one of the coolest ones for me, because this is honestly where I personally struggle a little bit, because I just tend to, if it's a good idea, go. And so I have to stop myself and put on the green hat. And the green hat is all about, wow, the green hat is all about opportunities. Like what are some possible ways to work this out? What are some other ways to solve the problem? What are other things we could be doing that accomplishes the same thing we want this? So say again, back to the event, if we're trying to do this event, what is it we really want to accomplish from doing that? And is there something else out there that could be accomplishing that same result? Could be. We don't know. This is why we got the green hat on. We need creative thinkers to help us in the green hat mode to think about some other ways to solve the problem. So plants springing from seeds. It's the movement. It's the creativity. New and different ideas. The suggestions. The alternatives and enhancing ways to solve the problem. So when you think of all of this, focus on what is the desired end result of us doing this thing. Okay, so we've picked the event. So our desired end result is gathering 100 people at the same place and making some money. Well, is this event the only way that we can do that? Are there other opportunities to do that same, to get to that same result? That's what the green hat's for, is looking for other ways to do this, to get to the same result. And so then finally, we have what I already said was one of my, I just go straight to it a lot of times, is the blue hat. Now the blue hat is, what have we done so far? The blue hat is all activity. Think project management for the blue hat. What have we done so far? What do we still need to do? What needs to come next? This blue hat, think also blueprints. What is the plan that needs to happen, that needs to be put into place for us to take action towards that thing? So because we've ran through all of these other hats, by the time we get to the blue hat, it should always come last because it's the plan of attack. You know, you have ran all of this through a filtering system to really be solid that this thing is either A, gonna work. If you've gotten to the blue hat, you're solid. If all of a sudden in like the black hat sense, you're like, oh, this thing is not gonna work at all, then scrap that idea. It's okay to say no if you've ran it through that filter and you know that's probably not the good idea. This is why it makes a really good tool. The 6 hats way of thinking is a really good tool for groups of people to come together on the same page, because it's really hard. If you've got one strong voice in the room and they tend to make all the decisions and come up with all the ideas, and it feels like to everybody else they're just not listening. It happens a lot. I don't know specifics of your group, but I'm trying to encourage you, use this tool if you're coming up with new projects to feed into that vision. So if once you've got that vision developed, use this tool with your teams to really go deeper with what it is that you want to do with that. So that in a nutshell is the 6 hats thinking. And you don't even have to use all the hats. You can use a sequence of hat. If you use the single hat, take it like, how do we feel about this? You're like, I don't need to know everything else. I just want to know, do I feel okay about it? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. If the answer is yes, then you're ready for the blue hat. If you don't want to go through the rest of them. But I highly encourage go through as many hats as you possibly can. You can even just do do the positive aspects and the negative aspects and how do you feel about it, then good to go.